Yo, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorillas in the building. Here to hit y'all upside the head with another morning paper. And in this morning paper, we will further be putting a stamp on the bullshit and the nonsense and the lies of the United States government. That's what we're going to do today. Not just the United States government, but all governments of the world, including the French government, right? Including the French government. We're going to get into that. You know what I'm saying? And also the purpose of this morning paper is to highlight how, you know, so-called conspiracy theorists, well, they might be on to something. Yeah, those individuals that come out, the independent thoughts, the independent minds that come to you guys to, bring you a different perspective that isn't clouded and muddied by government propaganda. And yeah, I'm going to highlight how maybe there might be something to the shit that we be telling y'all. Yeah, it might not just be sensationalism. It might not be just for clicks and views, and it might not just be us, shilling and all this other bullshit that people say. Yeah, when you don't believe the government narrative, when you don't trust in government, and you try to encourage others simply not to just, we're not trying to encourage you guys simply not to trust the government, right? Just because the government exists. Oh, the government exists, don't trust them. No, there is reasons, right? There is reasoning and logic behind not putting faith and trust in government. They demonstrate it every single day. They demonstrated it throughout history. They have shown patterns. They have shown, they left breadcrumbs along the way. They come out and they'll tell us in our faces why we shouldn't trust them. Yet we still do. Yet we still put faith in it. Yet we still lambast and criticize and, troll people that try to tell you guys what the fuck's really going on. And y'all just don't want to hear it. Not y'all, but not you people in the chat. I'm talking about the statist, the government ball lickers, the bad shiners, the bootlickers, all those individuals. And also the voices that come out and they push the government narrative, they push the government line, they try to get you, they give you all the bullshit in the world they can to cover for government bullshit, okay? And when you look beyond that, you'll see it's not just government bullshit, it's elitist bullshit that is being funneled through government at your expense. Yeah, that's right. The bullshit they sell you, the bullshit propaganda, the tyranny, the oppression that we experience from this government, we fund it. Yeah, we give them the capabilities because everything they do costs money. The propaganda campaigns, the war campaigns, right? Yeah, we pay for all that shit. And they use it against us to keep us under control, to keep us in line, right? And if you go against that, they really don't like it. They'll go after your ass. Is it faith or hope? A little bit of both. But salute to the people in the building. Salute to Hassan Fighter. Salute to Latressa Montgomery. Salute to Jesse. Anarchy Television's in the building. Marcy T. Prayer Warrior is up in here. Tanya D. Orange Lily for you is up in here. Thank you guys for coming through. Right? Thank you guys for coming through. Listen, I've been on YouTube doing this since about 2019, I think. I think it was early 2019 or late 2018. And from day one on my channel, I have been pushing conspiracy theories. I have been, explaining why government ain't shit. I've been explaining that the government, they don't work for you. They should be, right? We pay them, we fund them. They would not exist without us. But they don't act on your behalf. I've been giving you guys not all of them, right? Because there's a lot that I can't put out, right? Because I don't know everything my goddamn self. So imagine the things that I know and I understand from what they have been doing over the decades. What I know from it, that's not even the tip of the iceberg, right? So since 2019, I have been doing this on YouTube. You know, I use this platform to join in with other independent voices, other freedom lovers, to help disseminate this information and put it out there and help you guys understand why we believe what we believe, not just to tell you. You know, and obviously we went through the COVID bullshit, right? We went through the COVID bullshit, and from day one, I didn't believe in a goddamn thing they were saying about COVID, right? I went through the data, I did the research, I presented these things to you guys, you know, everything from how viruses actually work to the face flags that they call masks, you know, what percentage of people who contracted COVID actually died directly from COVID. I presented all this stuff, along with others, not just me. And we were told that we were tinfoil hat wearing motherfuckers, that we were just conspiracy theorists, and, you know, we were shadow banned, channels were taken down, right? Given strikes, all this type of shit. And then what happened years later? Everything that we said was a reality. The face flags didn't work. COVID-19 wasn't really dangerous. The hokey pokey that they call the vaccine is dangerous, and it wasn't tested enough. They put it out too fast and they rolled it out. And to this day, the damage from COVID-19 is still being experienced. COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine that they gave to people, that they coerced people into taking, that they forced people to take, that they threatened people, they threatened their jobs, they threatened their livelihoods. Hundreds of thousands of businesses were shut down, small businesses. To this day, people are experiencing, they're dying from fast-acting cancers that are linked to the vaccines. They still dropping like flies. And a new study came out that showed that half of the soldiers, half of U.S. military soldiers that were given the vaccine experienced some type of heart stress after the vaccine was given to them. Yeah, this just came out. There is a report that shows 50% of the soldiers that were given the vaccine experienced some type of heart distress. And all we said was, we don't know what this damn thing is going to do. It hasn't gone through the proper testing. There hasn't been research. There hasn't been studies. There's not enough information. These vaccines take from 5 to 10 years to go through a rigorous process before it's even given approval to be given to people. But COVID-19 took 9 fucking months. COVID-19 vaccine. Yeah. We warned y'all. We told y'all. We told y'all that the social distancing 6-foot bullshit was random and it was arbitrary. They came out and told y'all it was random and arbitrary. And now, in the modern times, there's always some bullshit. Right? We have been sounding the alarm. Me in particular, I don't really get into the Mason stuff because at the end of the day, it's all the same shit, right? They all are, it's the elite class. If you want to call them Zionists, if you want to call them Freemasons, whatever you want to fucking call them, they have their hands and their fingers all up in government. They operate within government. They have government agents. They operate within that realm. But they are not essentially government. Masons, elites, Zionists, they use our government to exercise their power and control. And those individuals that get out of line, they will take your ass out. Right? Yeah, if you talk about Freemasons, if you talk about the elite class, the real power structure, the big money interests, what do you hear? Oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Oh, there's no such thing, Illuminati and all this other shit, right? Yeah. Well, why is it that in France they are prosecuting like 20 members? I think it's like 20 people. 20 people that are Freemasons, that are within government, they're military, they're government officials, essentially ordered and participated and put hits out on people, killed people, extorted people. Yeah. These people have ties to government. They're being prosecuted in France right now. Yeah. This is what they're doing. Okay. Congratulations, Matthew. Latressa Montgomery, salute to the Latressa. She said, did Europe make it illegal to put out content about the vaccine? I think they did, right? Because they can do that type of shit in Europe because they don't have the freedom of speech like we do here in the United States that's in the Constitution, right? The Three Little Love says, I'm sorry, I was scrolling. It just had to say you had the most stunning eyes. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Salute to you. What's my point, though? You know, that's fucking hilarious. Because Rockin' Reactions is the same type of cat that will call someone like me a conspiracy theorist and that we're putting out bullshit, we're spewing lies. But when the truth comes out, they say shit like, what's your point, though? Do I have to hold your fucking hand and sit you down like a 2-year-old to explain the point, motherfucker? Or are you just trying to be in here and trying to call yourself putting me to task and challenging me? Do I have to explain it to your super silly ass? Ditz V says, like literally delusional. I just farted. Congratulations. Congratulations. You farted. Congratulations. XLM says, I got the vaccine. Am I cooked? I don't know. You should go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Go get the test. There are certain types of cancer. I don't know if you being a smartass or being a troll, XLM, but there are certain types of cancers. Look it up. I've given information about this before. Prostate cancer, lung cancer, cervical cancers, all increased, right? The rate of that increased, that and is linked to the vaccines. Get checked for those types of cancers. Colon cancer is a big one. Yeah, colon cancer. And these cancers are fast-acting cancers. You go from stage 1 to stage 4 in 2 days. That type of shit. So it behooves you. If you took the vaccine, you might be good. I'm not saying if you had the vaccine, you're automatically cooked. No, I would go get tested. I didn't take the vaccine, so I couldn't tell you, right? If you're going to talk about cancer from the coup shot, you should mention Fenbin. I don't know what Fenbin is. David said he got brain cancer. I don't know if you're being serious or not, but again, go get these things. Go get tested. It's not just cancers either, right? Blood clots, heart shit. But nonetheless, right? Listen, this Mason group in France they're not just a hit squad, right? They do all kind of different, these people are into all kind of shit. This is a worldwide operation. If you want, like I said, I don't focus on Mason, Illuminati, and I lump them into the elite class because that's what they are, right? They could be part of they could be Masons and small hats and goddamn at the same time. It doesn't matter. What matters is that these shadow groups, right? That that you are not aware of. You're now slowly becoming aware of it, that we have been sounding the alarm on for a long time. These are shadow groups. They operate behind the scenes. They are beyond government, right? They use the government as a tool. And the reason they do that is because, well, I mean, they need access to money. They use the government to control people, right? They need to control the population, keep the population subdued, keep them, in line. And the government is the best way to do that. So if these groups want to control the masses and have things the way they want them, well, they're going to do it through the government. It's easy, right? Because the phrase power corrupts, right? And absolute power corrupts absolutely is the most true statement you could ever make, right? Because these big money interests, and the reason I say big money interests is because they use their money to assert power over those within government, right? Because a government official shouldn't be balling out of control, right? Not while operating as a government official, right? They shouldn't be using their office in government to get rich and to position themselves and position their families to be wealthy. They shouldn't be doing that, right? They should be acting in the service of the people, right? That's what government officials should be doing. They should not be in government to make a whole lot of money. That's not how that's supposed to work. So what these big money interests do, right, is they lobby, they send donations, they promise people that their children can get on boards, and when you retire you can do. Listen, this is how it works. That's how they corrupt the government. This is how the government becomes corruptible. You should change your name to I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to change my name to Pretty Eye Preacher. Why would I do that? Then I'm making this about me. Why would I do that? This channel is about spreading freedom, right? Spreading the message of freedom in the masses, and encouraging people to empower themselves to break free of the government chains these elites use to slap on your goddamn wrist. That's what this is about. Have I ever heard of Tim Kiddie Pool? Yes, I have. He's a clown. Tim Pool's a clown. The government is all Masons, I thought. Masons, Zionists. At the end of the day, these people don't give a shit. Listen, they're devil worshiping clowns. They're devil worshiping evil motherfuckers. That's all you need to concern yourself with, right? They perform these rituals. They sacrifice motherfuckers. Listen. Sandra Bullock went on Ellen DeGeneres and told y'all that she uses the baby's foreskins and to rub on her face, and that's how she stays looking young. They're telling y'all all the time. Elite. Listen. Mason, whatever you want to call it, these people are facing prosecution. A number of them are facing prosecution in France. Now, am I going to say that everyone within government is corrupt? No, I'm not going to say that. Are there government officials in France that are really trying to make things happen? Because also in France, what did they do? They raided the Rothschilds Bank in France. They raided the Rothschilds Bank in France. So it appears to be that in some countries they're actually trying to expose and drive out corruption. I'm not saying that's not possible, but you got to be careful, right? Term limits. What is term limits going to do? What term limits? You mean for Congress? What's that going to do? Realize as facts, the majority are evil, wicked entities. Facts. I understand what you guys are saying about term limits. You think, okay, well, if we give politicians term limits, so if they're corrupt, they only got 4 years to be corrupt. I understand the concept. I understand it. But it takes a lot, right? Because the term limits or the lack of the existence of term limits is within the Constitution. They would have to amend the Constitution to put term limits in there. And that takes a lot. It takes a lot. There's a certain process you got to go through. There's two different processes. You got to get, just to propose an amendment, you got to get you got to do something. And then to ratify it, you got to do something else. It's a whole lot of steps. I don't think term limits would help. No. The solution is to decentralize power, right? No matter where it is. Decentralized power. When you have a central power structure that controls a massive amount of people, you're going to have corruption, right? Because the more centralized the power structure, the more concentrated the power structure, the more expansive the power they have, the less accountable they'll be, right? No, there is too much of a lack of accountability. You have to decentralize. So you decentralize power and, you break it down. You break down the power structure, right? The less amount of people that are controlled by a certain amount of people, the better, because they'll be more held accountable. And I would even go as far as to say there should be no power structure. There should be leadership, right? A community has a group of leaders that look out for them, a small group of people, right? You might have leadership within a community where they will be held accountable if they don't act on their behalf in a proper way. That's the best way to do it if you want to have that type of thing going on. No president, but a Congress. No. What you need is smaller communities, right? Smaller groups of people, smaller communities that operate in the way they operate with leadership that will be held accountable when they get out of pocket. As simple as that. The less people you have to represent, the better you can represent them. Does that make sense? The more people you have to represent, the less able you are to represent those people. It is simple. That's the problem here, right? Because you can't represent everybody's interest as one senator with, let's say, somewhere like California. You're a senator and you have to represent 4 million people, 4 to 6 million people. One senator is not going to be able to represent 4 to 6 million people. The more people you have to represent, the less equipped you are to represent them. Anyway, now let's talk about the bullet. The bullet that they say killed Charlie Kirk, which they said was a 30-06, which is crazy as hell. That's crazy. Like, I knew, like, from jump, the damage that happened to Charlie Kirk did not add up to a 30-06. Listen, we told y'all this, but of course we were called conspiracy theorists and all this bullshit, sensationalists and all this. Listen, another example of government bullshit and government corruption that you guys can use to make an informed decision on whether or not you want to give your consent to be governed. The ATF is saying that it's not conclusive that the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk came from a 30-06 rifle, right? And it is what it is, right? That particular bit of knowledge was already given to the people, right, by Candace Owens from the information she had. She said that months ago, and it turns out that's what the report from the ATF says. And obviously, of course, the prosecution is saying, oh, well, inconclusive does not rule it out. Okay, so what evidence do you have to counter that? Do you have something that says that the bullet does match? That the bullet fragment does match that of the 30-06 that they say Tyler Robinson shot from? Yeah, there is no public. Exactly. Listen, that's what they're going to do, right? And of course, you got the There's certain talking heads out there. They're going to tell you, oh, well, that's a nothing burger. It's not, doesn't mean anything. It's not conclusive. Doesn't mean it. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. If they tested the bullet against a rifle and they did all their testing and did all this bullshit and it doesn't match, it doesn't match. It doesn't match. It's simple, right? Why is this important? Why is this important? Well, because the kangaroo court that's in place right now that is trying to convict Tyler Robinson of Charlie Kirk's death, whether you like Charlie Kirk or not, if they can succeed with what they're trying to do to Tyler Robinson, with all this bullshit evidence they're putting out, right? If you look at the court filings are out and people can go through them, and you're seeing what type of evidence they're putting out that they're trying to pin on Tyler Robinson. Outdated testing to match bullets and stuff like that, using lead testing that has been outdated and has been discovered to be not a good way to match a bullet, right, that may have been in someone's gun to the bullet that was used to kill somebody, right? Trying to, the lead of this bullet matches the lead of that bullet. That's not, this is what they're trying to do to Tyler Robinson. Some shit that was proven to be debunked and outdated in 2005. They're trying to use that now to prosecute Tyler Robinson. If they can get away with that with him, they can do it to you. If they don't like you, if they don't like what you're saying, if you have too big of a voice and you're speaking out and you're gaining momentum, and they can't outright kill you, because that will basically expose them to the truth, to the people. So they can simply do something like, I don't know, plant kiddie porn in your computer, plant text messages, and the text message they're saying that Tyler Robinson sent out and all this other shit. They're not even showing any evidence that actually. Listen, they can do it to you. If they get away with this shit with Tyler Robinson, they can do it to you. This is why we should care about it. Not saying that he wasn't involved, but his death sketch. Absolutely. And that's enough, right? Because what do you have to do to convict someone in a court of law that they did something? You got to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt, right? Well, what you just expressed, Spence T, was that you have a shadow of a doubt. Beyond a reasonable doubt, exactly. That's all they need. That's all the defense needs to have Tyler Robinson go free. As simple as that. Well, they can't do that right now. And listen, this is not just Tyler Robinson. They've been doing this. This is nothing new under the sun. But because this is such a huge thing and so public, and so there's so many eyes on this, it's easy to make sure that Tyler Robinson, if he didn't do it, he should not be prosecuted for it. Yeah, the sheriff just resigned. I mean, it's a bunch of bullshit at the end of the day. Right? It's more important now that we are in the age that we're in with all the information that's out there. They did not count on all this to be happening. They did not count on people taking to YouTube and exposing the bullshit. This is great. This is a great thing. This is something. If Tyler Robinson didn't do it and he ended up going free because of people out there in the interwebs, out there on YouTube, the usual suspects that are putting out this information that completely blows up the FBI case, that's a great fucking thing. It's a great thing. That means that the people are ensuring that justice is administered and that injustice is not being done to an innocent individual. This is why this is important, right? Anyway, y'all, we gotta get out of here. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for hearing me out. I appreciate you guys. Oh, there you go. Latressa Montgomery dropped a link. Salute to her. Y'all go check that out. Just heard about the pumice clouds. It's crazy how it's foggy. I never heard of pumice clouds. I need to look that up. And nobody is being prosecuted. Yeah. Shadow of a doubt and reasonable doubt are not the same thing. Here comes someone trying to be pedantic. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care what you're talking about. That I don't. Shadow of a doubt and reasonable doubt. Not. Can y'all shut the fuck up with the pedantism, please? You know what the fuck I mean. Beyond a shadow of a doubt means that if you have any doubt, if there is a shadow of a doubt, then Tyler Robinson need not be convicted. If you can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, so that means if you reasonably doubt something, then guess what? That means Tyler Robinson should not be convicted. If there is reasonable doubt, if there is a shadow of a doubt, if you doubt within reason that Tyler Robinson did it, or if you have a shadow of a doubt based on the evidence that's presented to you, what are we talking about? Can y'all knock that shit off? Salute to my brother, I am True Will in the building. Salute to the brother. If you can't prove that he broke down the rifle before he jumped off the roof and then put it back together. Yeah. I mean, listen, these are realities that we have to face. And we have to face the reality that that Charlie Kirk may have been killed because he was such an influential voice that was firmly against this Iranian war travesty, amongst other things, right? The genocide of the Gazan people by Israel, the senseless Iranian war that we are mired in right now. Yeah, Charlie Kirk was firmly against this. And the only reason they were able to kill him is because he was still focused on bullshit. He was still focused on bullshit when he should have been completely focused on what he should have been focused on, instead of focusing on race and the DEI and the DEI and the black pilots and all this bullshit. Guess what? He might still be alive today. He gave them an opening to take his ass out and pin it on a furry loving transvestite or whatever the fuck they say Tyler Robinson is. Oh, it was the left. It was the tranny left. Yeah, Charlie Kirk gave them the ability and the opening to have his ass taken out. Yeah. Whereas, I've said this many times before, Candace Owens, she just completely shifted her focus on that, on the Zionist and the genocide, firmly speaking out against it so loudly that if they did take her ass out, well, guess what? Salute to Coach B Hudson in the building. Salute to my comrade. But he confessed. Yeah, absolutely bullshit. Yet they can't. Oh, you on vacation? Salute to I am True Will on vacation. Salute to you, brother. But then Candace went crazy. I don't know what that means. I don't think she went crazy at all. I think that they try to make her look like she's crazy because she's such a conspiracy theorist. Yet no one, all the things that she has talked about, no one has been able to debunk it for the most part. They focus on little things. Oh, you got the date wrong. Oh, it's spelled this way. Oh, ice don't melt at 30 degrees. All that silly bullshit. Listen, you can't catch me up with that shit. Oh, yeah. I am True Will. She is telling on their asses. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she exposing the shit out of them. Yeah, she doing some great work. Say what you want about Candace Owens. Yes. Is she a coon? A certified coon? Yes. But she ain't cooning right now, is she? Guess what? She stopped cooning She said, you know what? I don't think black folks is really the problem right now. I think, yeah, she stopped cooning, and guess what happened? Her ass is still alive. Yeah. Yeah, she's still alive. And she was way more outspoken than Charlie Kirk. But when you're right, exactly. So, and that's why brothers like myself, I Am True Will, Coach B. Husson, all the people I rock with up in here, Black Spring with Autumn, you know, the people that come out and spit these truths. We don't focus on the person and their personality. Oh, you was a coon 2 years ago. I don't give a shit about none of that. She ain't cooning right now. Anyway, y'all, I gotta go. The Chester Montgomery says all of who claim were conspiracy theorists, the word created by the FBI, CIA after JFK was unalive. Yeah, call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care. I don't care. It is what it is. Anyway, salute to the Mortal Clan. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out so that we can get out on the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, make sure y'all drop y'all links. I Am Sure Will. Drop your link. Black Spring or Autumn, if you up in here, drop your link. All the content creators that are moderators, you guys go ahead and drop your link before you head on out. Go check out my brother, I Am True Will. Go check him out. He put in that work, and he got that work for your ass. So, yeah. The type of shit I talk about, you know what I'm saying? He talks about that type of shit too. You know, he has a little bit of a different perspective, but he always brings the receipts. And he always puts the truth out there. So y'all go check out I Am True Will if y'all want that work, man. Salute to you, Mortal Clan. I appreciate you. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and make sure we keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.